What's up, Wrestling Verse family? Welcome back to the channel where we break down the absolute best matches and moments in professional wrestling. If you're new to the family, smash that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications because you do not want to miss what we're about to break down today. We're talking about an absolutely incredible no-rules match that took place in NXT. Becky Lynch, the man herself, going head-to-head with Tiffany Stratton in a brutal, no-holds-barred war that had the entire WWE universe on the edge of their seats. This wasn't just a match, this was a statement. This was a masterclass in storytelling, intensity, and pure wrestling excellence. Let's dive into every single detail of this epic encounter that's got everyone talking. Before we get into the action, let's talk about these two incredible competitors. Becky Lynch needs no introduction. She's the man, one of the biggest stars in WWE history, a multiple-time champion, a WrestleMania main eventer, and an absolute icon of women's wrestling. Becky has conquered every mountain there is to climb in WWE, and her legacy is already cemented in the Hall of Fame conversation. Then you've got Tiffany Stratton, the rising star who has been absolutely tearing it up in NXT. Tiffy time is all about confidence, athleticism, and that mean streak that makes great heels so compelling. Tiffany has the look, the skills, and the attitude of a future champion. Her gymnastics background gives her a unique style, and her character work is absolutely on point. This woman is destined for greatness. The build-up to this match was absolutely intense. These two had been going back and forth for weeks, and the disrespect from Tiffany toward Becky had reached a boiling point. Tiffany was talking about how the old generation needs to move aside, how she's the future, and how Becky's time has passed. Those are fighting words, and Becky Lynch doesn't back down from anyone. Becky fired back with that fire we've come to expect from the man. She talked about earning respect, about proving yourself in the ring, and about teaching Tiffany a lesson she'd never forget. The verbal exchanges were incredible, and when they announced it would be a no-rules match, everyone knew we were in for something special. A no-rules match means exactly what it sounds like. No disqualifications, no count-outs, anything goes. This match type brings out the absolute best in competitors because they can use their environment, they can use weapons, and they can push the limits of what's possible in a wrestling match. When you put two talented performers in a no-rules environment, magic happens. The entrances set the tone perfectly. Tiffany Stratton came out with that cocky swagger, looking like $1 million, completely confident in her abilities. She played to the crowd, soaking in the boos, and you could tell she was ready for war. Tiffany has that star quality that makes everything she does feel important. Then Becky Lynch's music hit, and the place absolutely erupted. The man walked out with purpose, intensity burning in her eyes, and you could feel the energy shift. Becky wasn't there to play games or put on a show, she was there to fight. The determination on her face told you everything you needed to know. Tiffany was in for the fight of her life. The bell rang, and these two went at it immediately. No feeling out process, no slow build, just pure aggression from the opening second. Becky and Tiffany were throwing hands, trading strikes, and the crowd was absolutely electric. This is what no-rules matches are all about, letting the intensity and emotion drive the action. Tiffany showed early on that she belonged in this match. She wasn't intimidated by Becky's reputation or experience. Stratton was giving as good as she got, hitting crisp strikes, using her athleticism to avoid Becky's attacks, and showing that mean streak that's made her such a compelling character. The rising star was proving herself against a legend. But Becky Lynch is Becky Lynch for a reason. The man started taking control, using her experience advantage to outwrestle Tiffany. Becky was targeting specific body parts, working methodically, and showing why she's one of the best in-ring performers in the world. Every move had purpose, every strike had bad intentions. Then the weapons came into play, and things escalated quickly. Tiffany grabbed a kendo stick from under the ring, and the crowd gasped. She cracked Becky across the back with it, and you could hear the impact echo throughout the arena. The welts immediately started forming, and Becky's face showed the pain. But the man absorbed it and came back for more. Becky fought back, grabbing the kendo stick and returning the favor. She unleashed a flurry of shots on Tiffany, each one harder than the last. The crowd was counting along with each strike, and the energy was absolutely incredible. This is the kind of violent, hard-hitting action that makes no rules matches so special. Steel chairs came into play next, and both women used them with devastating effectiveness. Tiffany hit a beautiful moonsault off a chair onto Becky on the outside, and the athleticism on display was remarkable. For someone her size to move that gracefully while also hitting with that much impact is incredibly impressive. Tiffany was proving she's not just talk, she's got the skills to back it up. Becky responded by setting up a chair in the corner and sending Tiffany face first into it with a devastating throw. The impact was brutal, and Tiffany was busted open. The blood started flowing, and suddenly this match got even more intense. The visual of both competitors battling through pain and blood elevated the drama to another level. The near falls throughout this match were absolutely insane. Tiffany hit her signature prettiest moonsault ever onto Becky, who was laid out on a steel chair. The crowd thought it was over. 1, 2. Becky kicked out at the last possible second. The look of disbelief on Tiffany's face was priceless. What more did she have to do to keep the man down? Becky fought back with everything she had. She locked in the disarm her submission in the middle of the ring, and Tiffany was screaming in pain. But remember, this is a no-rules match. There are no rope breaks, no submissions. Tiffany had to fight out of it or pass out. The drama was incredible as Stratton clawed and scratched, finally managing to grab a kendo stick and crack Becky over the head to break the hold. The innovation and creativity both women showed in using the environment was phenomenal. They fought into the crowd, they used the announce table, they brought in ladders and tables. Every weapon told a story, every spot felt earned and meaningful. This wasn't mindless violence, it was storytelling through controlled chaos. There was an absolutely insane spot where Becky climbed to the top rope with a table set up below. Tiffany caught her and they fought on the top turnbuckle. The crowd was on their feet, sensing something huge was about to happen. Becky fought Tiffany off and delivered a devastating leg drop, driving Tiffany through the table. The impact was sickening, and both women were down. The referee started counting, and both competitors were struggling to get to their feet. This is what great no-rules matches look like. Both wrestlers pushed to their absolute limits, giving everything they have, leaving it all in the ring. The crowd was chanting for both women, appreciating the incredible effort and performance they were witnessing. Becky pulled herself up first and dragged Tiffany back into the ring. You could see the exhaustion on the man's face, the toll this war had taken. But champions are made in moments like this, when everything hurts, when you're running on fumes, and you still find a way to dig deeper. Tiffany showed incredible heart, fighting back when it seemed like she had nothing left. She hit Becky with a superkick out of nowhere, then another moonsault. The crowd was going absolutely crazy. 1, 2. Becky kicked out again. The resilience, the toughness, the refusal to quit, this is what makes Becky Lynch a legend. The final sequence was absolutely spectacular. Becky blocked another Tiffany offense, hit her with a devastating manhandle slam onto a pile of chairs. The sound of that impact will haunt Tiffany's nightmares. Becky made the cover, hooking both legs. 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch wins this incredible no-rules match. But the real story was what happened after the bell. Both women lay in the ring, completely exhausted, surrounded by the wreckage of their war. The crowd gave them a standing ovation, chanting, "This is awesome," and showing appreciation for what they just witnessed. This is what professional wrestling is all about. Becky slowly got to her feet, and the referee raised her hand in victory. The man had proven once again why she's one of the greatest of all time. But look at what Tiffany Stratton took her through. The rising star pushed a legend to the absolute brink. Despite the loss, Tiffany gained so much credibility and respect from this performance. In a show of respect, Becky extended her hand to Tiffany. The crowd was buzzing, wondering what would happen. Tiffany looked at Becky's hand, looked at the crowd, and after a tense moment, she shook it. The respect between two warriors who just went through hell together. But then Tiffany rolled out of the ring, leaving Becky to celebrate. The story continues. Let's talk about what this match means for both competitors. For Becky Lynch, this was another notch on her legendary resume. She proved she can still go with anyone, she can still deliver in big match situations, and she's still the man. This victory over a rising star shows that Becky isn't going anywhere. For Tiffany Stratton, this might be the most important match of her career so far. Yes, she lost, but she proved she belongs on the biggest stages. She pushed Becky Lynch to the limit in a no-rules match. That's the kind of performance that makes stars. Tiffany came out of this match looking like a future champion, and that's huge for her trajectory. The storytelling in this match was absolutely phenomenal. Every weapon shot meant something, every near fall built tension, and the pacing was perfect. They started hot, built to multiple crescendos, and delivered a satisfying conclusion. This is textbook how to structure a great wrestling match. The crowd was invested from bell to bell. They were chanting, they were gasping at near falls, they were standing for the big spots, and they showed respect at the end. When you get that kind of organic audience response, you know you've delivered something special. Both women should be incredibly proud. This match also showcases why NXT continues to be such an important part of WWE. They're giving rising stars opportunities to work with legends, they're telling compelling stories, and they're delivering match quality that rivals anything on the main roster. NXT is thriving right now. Social media went absolutely crazy during and after this match. Clips were being shared everywhere, fans were praising both performers, and wrestling Twitter was buzzing with reactions. This is the kind of match that gets people talking and draws attention to the product. Mission accomplished from WWE's perspective. The physical toll both women showed was incredible selling. The exhaustion, the pain, the determination, every facial expression told part of the story. This is what separates good wrestlers from great ones, the ability to make everything feel real and important. Looking ahead, where do both women go from here? Becky Lynch proved she's still elite and can continue taking on all challengers. Tiffany Stratton proved she's ready for the main event level and should be in line for championship opportunities. This match opened doors for both performers. Can we appreciate the athleticism on display? The moonsaults, the high-flying moves, the power moves, all executed with precision and impact. Both women are incredible athletes at the peak of their abilities, and this match showcased that perfectly. The use of weapons was creative and impactful without feeling excessive. Every chair shot, every kendo stick strike, every table bump served the story. This wasn't gratuitous violence, it was storytelling enhanced by the no-rules stipulation. This match will absolutely be remembered as one of the best matches in NXT history. It had everything: drama, action, emotion, storytelling, and two incredible performances. Years from now, fans will look back at this as a defining moment for both women. Alright, wrestling vs. family, now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What was your favorite moment from this match? Did you think Tiffany would pull off the upset? Where should both women go from here? Let's discuss. If you loved this breakdown, hit that like button and show some appreciation. Subscribe to Wrestling Verse for the best wrestling analysis on YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss our uploads. Share this with fellow wrestling fans. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video where we continue bringing you amazing wrestling content. Until next time, keep that passion alive. This is Wrestling Verse, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.